Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to replace the water inlet valve on a Kitchenaid refrigerator. First things first, unplug the unit and turn off the water supply at the wall. There's a little valve there to switch it to off. The reason why we're replacing it is I found that it was leaking. This customer said that their fridge has been leaking for a while now. They had a huge puddle coming out from the front of it, and I actually thought it was something else because with this fridge it's known for leaking from another spot, but I isolated it to the water valve. You can see the cardboard there is all discolored. It was soaking wet about a week ago, but we turned off the water after I isolated it and I ordered the part. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and get a 1/4 bit and take out all the screws that hold on this cardboard back plate on. It's just a few of them. You just take them all out. That way it'll give us access to the water valve. I went ahead and asked the customer if he had a towel I could use. Not too much water actually dripped during this repair, but you never know. It's always good to get a towel or a rag just to keep everything contained. You just want to go ahead and take those screws out and gently move this cardboard. It does kind of start to rip after a while. As you can see, it's all stained and discolored from the water that was leaking. And don't forget your PPE, gloves, glasses, knee pads, eye protection, and the fridge being unplugged. Next thing, looks like you've got two screws here, two more 1/4 inch bit. Just want to take those out, and then that allows us to pull the whole water inlet valve. You can see where I'm pointed there. There's some corrosion and some sediment. That's exactly where it was leaking. Go ahead and unplug the wire connectors for it, and then to get that water line out, you just push up on that ring on the connector on the water inlet valve, and then you pull out the water line. It's kind of like a Chinese finger trap. Then you're going to want to go ahead and get a wrench and unscrew that water line. You could have done that before, but I went ahead and did it now. Yeah, I found that these water inlet valves leak no matter what appliance they're in. I've seen them leak on dishwashers, washing machines, dryers that have that steam function, refrigerators, you name it. I'm just inspecting it. You can kind of see all that white buildup there where my thumb is and all around there. That's essentially where the plastic is pressed together, or the seam is. It's melted together, and over time it starts to leak. So there we go. I'm just inspecting the new one, making sure it's an exact match. For that water line, I'm just wiping it off, and then you just push it right in, and then it locks into place. Like I said, it's like a Chinese finger trap. Go ahead and plug the connector back on and screw those two screws back in. This repair really isn't too bad. It's actually quite easy once you get the fridge out. You guys can see I went ahead and put my skid down because this customer had some nice wood flooring, which I was trying to be respectful of. He did have a bit of warping in the back all the way by the wall. Because that water inlet valve was leaking for a couple weeks, it did go ahead and get down into the hardwood and warp it a little bit. It's not too bad. Luckily I caught it, and luckily I was able to shut off the water line as soon as I diagnosed it, and then it was able to dry. So yeah, you're going to want to go ahead and snug this connector up. You don't want to tighten it too tight because it could leak, and you don't want to leave it loose because it could leak. I've actually seen a lot of these water lines leak. As soon as you move the fridge, it'll start to leak because it was either under tightened or it came untightened. Alright, now I just turned the water line back on. I'm inspecting it, making sure no water is dripping out, and I'm going to go ahead and put that back panel on, test it out. Yeah, like I kind of alluded to earlier, this fridge, I was actually surprised when I got to this call and I found it was leaking from here, because typically with this fridge it seems like it leaks In the fresh food section, all the way at the bottom, you'll have water underneath the drawer, and it's typically the drain line for the fresh food evap will get frozen over and clogged, and then it'll start overflowing. But surprisingly, it wasn't that. So that just goes to show you, everybody, it's good to thoroughly diagnose things. Don't just assume because you've seen something 100 times that 101st time it's going to be that. Because, like in this case, it wasn't. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by that, actually. Alright, man, we've got all the screws back in. Trying to do the best I can to get that cardboard to sit flush and flat and back as it should be. Like you see, it's kind of warped and a little bit tattered because of it was soaking wet last week. All that part that was stained was completely soaking wet, and I was trying to be gentle with it because when it's wet, it's like just pulling apart, falling apart. Clean up as you go. That's what I'm doing here, just kind of packing my tools up a little bit. I'm going to make my way around front and test the dispenser, make sure that the new water inlet valve is working. We did get the water inlet valve replaced, so if that's all you needed, hey, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate you. And if you want to stay for another few minutes, I'm just going to go ahead and test it out. It's always good to test and verify. I got the water back on, and I'm plugging the unit back in. And now I'm going to make my way up front to test the dispenser just to make sure the water's coming out of it. Because you never know. Sometimes parts, you order them, they're brand new, and they don't work. Alright, there you go. Test and verify, ladies and gentlemen. The water's coming out, which means that the new solenoid in the water inlet valve is working. I just go ahead and double check here, make sure that no water's leaking out, make sure that everything's still dry. Everything looks good. So I'm going to push this fridge back in and call it a day. Yeah, when you do push these back in, just be careful, make sure you don't kink that water line and you don't kink the power cord. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate you. Check out some of the other videos on the channel, and I hope this helped. If it did help you, go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.